Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. I hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have an update on the Rey Skywalker movie. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it, break it all down for you guys from what we're hearing right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from Den of Geek. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall source. They are quite a reputable source for when it comes to different kind of just really overall updates for many Star Wars projects within a galaxy far, far away. Daisy Ridley herself actually has a few words to share about the director of this upcoming movie, Sharmeen obaid-chinoy, and her plans for the Rey Skywalker Star Wars movie, or also known presumably as the New Jedi Order movie there as well. The director of the movie has garnered a bit of controversy in the recent couple of weeks, although I think that the flame has died down a little bit here. A lot of controversial statements, kind of taken out of context really from the director, that, you know, it's taken out of context. She says something and people don't give the full story or that full context to it really, of course, and make it out to make her look bad, or that she's after to just make Star Wars absolutely horrible. Of course, that is not the case. That's just, well, that's just Star Wars fans being Star Wars fans, so let's be honest. So Daisy Ridley is having quite the year so far. Her own new movie, titled Sometimes I Think About Dying, had released in theaters earlier in the month and is receiving some positive notes and feedback. Her indie neo-noir movie, Magpie, is set to premiere at the SXSW Film Festival in March as well. The biopic Young Women and the Sea, in which she stars as Gertrude Ederle, the first woman to swim across the English Channel, was originally slated for a Disney Plus release as well, and that may instead get bumped up to a theatrical release, which I fingers crossed for that. Disney needs to release their movies in theaters. Oh, and she's also filming a new action thriller called Cleaner, directed by 007 franchise legend Martin Campbell. So I think, to say the least, Daisy Ridley is doing quite well for herself, and she'll be doing a whole lot better when we finally get to see her return to a galaxy far, far away in the next couple of years, as the New Jedi Order movie featuring Rey Skywalker, set roughly 15 years after the events of the sequel trilogy and The Rise of Skywalker, is going to hit those theaters December of 2026. And in between all of her other projects, Daisy Ridley is also, of course, answering plenty of questions about her upcoming return to the Star Wars franchise. The actor recently teased that her own solo movie, which is set 15 years after the sequel trilogy and will follow Rey as she works to build a new Jedi Order, is taking things in a different direction than those past installments, really the sequel trilogy. Now she's hyping up the director, Sharmeen obaid-chinoy's plans for the film in a new interview with Variety.com, saying that, in quote, her idea for the story is cool as, yeah, ending that quote right there. Ridley told the trade. No spoilers, but she gave me a rundown for the entire story. If it weren't amazing, I would have been like, okay, call me in another 5 years, but it's definitely worthwhile. Ending that quote right there. And this is something that Daisy Ridley, I mean, has to make that choice on to return for. She can't, it's not like she's desperate for work, quite clearly. Like, she's doing all these other amazing projects and has a lot going on for herself. So it's not that she is just kind of desperate and was like kind of like looking to take anything or take anything necessarily and to return to the Star Wars franchise. It is something that she has revealed before, is that it is worthwhile to return for this story. Daisy Ridley's seal of approval will certainly be welcome of news for the sequel trilogy fans looking forward to seeing more of the character on screen, but this time as a more experienced and wiser Jedi Knight. Penning the script is Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight, who replaced Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson last year quite abruptly. There's a bit of controversy and a bit of drama going on with that, but that's besides the point. Stephen Knight is a phenomenal writer, and if you've seen Peaky Blinders, bringing that kind of vibe into a galaxy far, far away for Rey Skywalker and for the sequels, it has a lot of potential. I think it's a whole nother idea of getting these actors and on board to want to return to the Star Wars franchise and to do a continuation of the sequels here to begin with as well. John Boyega, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, and of course Daisy Ridley have all come forward after the Rise of Skywalker in 2019 saying that they don't want to return to Star Wars. They don't want to return to do any more movies because of the way that their characters were kind of treated and the way that the fans kind of had outlooked at them by the time the Rise of Skywalker really rolled around. There's a lot of criticisms going around that just made them not really want to return, or really anything even to do with a galaxy far, far away at that there as well. So it was going to take a bit of convincing and really a good story and a good director at the end of the day for many of these actors to want to even consider returning for another Star Wars project. So that being all said, and seeing that they have met that criteria for Daisy Ridley to want to return, I think that they're definitely on the right track there as well. Other bit of rumors and whispers in the background have said that John Boyega, who takes on Finn in the sequel trilogy, would also return alongside Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron from the sequel trilogy, in some type of smaller role though, however, for the movie. Nonetheless, fingers crossed that they would want to return as well. I think is something that a lot of Star Wars fans would love to see unfold. Not just that, but some other rumors, and yes, I want to discuss this in a separate feature video here on the channel in more detail and in more depth. All the more reason to grab that subscribe button if you haven't already. Have pointed at the idea of this being the first installment to a new trilogy, a part of the Star Wars galaxy, of course. Essentially a sequel trilogy of the sequels, in a weird way, yes. Unfortunately, Daisy Ridley, of course, can't share all that much more about the film when asked whether we know if we might see John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, or Adam Driver even back as well, telling Variety that I don't know what it is or what exactly is what or who is who in this new movie after having read through the script a bit. In other words, essentially saying that they use a lot of code names or code words essentially in a weird way to kind of hide the fact or hide those returns or those characters. Meanwhile, though, however, Daisy Ridley also told Inverse.com that she expects filming on her new Star Wars movie to kick off sometime in the near future. And from what many of the rumors are pointing towards is that it's going to begin production in spring, more specifically in April of this year. Daisy Ridley did confirm that she'll star in first an indie thriller called We Bury the Dead before stepping back into A Galaxy Far, Far Away. So after she's done with that project, in other words, there's a little bit more of a while to wait yet for the REY movie before it really gets underway with its filming and its production. That said, another Star Wars film, the recently announced The Mandalorian and Grogu movie by Jon Favreau, will begin shooting this year in June for a May of 2026 release. This year all being said, guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. What do you want to see with the REY Skywalker movie and the return to the franchise? Let me know what you guys are all thinking in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.